What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is a quick little preview of the banger of a UFC card we got coming up on the weekend. UFC 310, Pantoja versus Asakura. Man, this card is a doozy. So without further ado, let's get into it. Top to bottom, this card rules. I mean, that's a pretty cool fight poster too. I mean, I need to catch up on some of Asakura's fights, but I still don't understand quite why he's here. I've looked at his record, and I still don't understand why he's getting a title shot. But we'll come to that. The prelims first fight, Kennedy and Nzechukwu versus Lucas Bradsky. I'm taking Nzechukwu by ground and pound. Next up, Clay Guida versus Chase Hooper. This is a sick fight, but obviously Chase Hooper should win this fight. But Guida, 38 and 24, that's experience, and Guida's still a beast out there. You know, he's not a washed guy for, he's not the same. He's a bit stiff because he's obviously been through that many fights, but he's a gamer, and an old guy like Guida can catch a young buck in a trick or two. He could out, not out slick him. That's the wrong way to explain it, but he could have some tricks up his sleeve for old Chase. You never know, but I would favour Chase. Michael Chiesa versus Max Griffin. Man, this is a toss up. I'll probably. Man, I was going to go with Max Griffin, but I'll probably go with Chiesa by submission. Joshua Van versus Cody Durden. Cody Durden looked good in his last fight, was getting the breaks beaten off him a little bit, and then came back with a big win. Joshua Van, I mean, is he coming off that? Is his last fight that knockout loss? It is, isn't it? To Jordan, to Charles Johnson, sorry. Oh no, he came back against Edgar Chairez. Yeah, I was thinking he was going to be a bit gun shy. I'm still going to go with Cody Durden. I'm picking Cody Durden. Not confident, but I'm picking him. Weidman versus Anders. Man, 8 and 8 in UFC now. You're the 37th ranked middleweight in the world. You used to be the champion. You might as well pack it in. I hope this is his last fight. It would have been nice to see him on the MSG card. I mean, skill for skill, Weidman's a way better fighter, but he's just had so much damage and had such bad luck after the leg break against Uriah Hall, I think it was, wasn't it? Man, this is a real toss-up because Eric Anders is such a bad fighter. He's a beast of a guy, but he's just such a bad fighter. He's just so brute force and nothing else. So, do you know what? I'm going to go with old Weidman. I'm not confident at all, but I'm going to go with Weidman because that's how poorly I rate Anders. Next up, Brian Battle versus Randy Brown. I actually saw Brian Battle perform in France recently, and he looked damn good. But Randy Brown, he's a big favourite, which I don't understand because Randy Brown's a damn good fighter. But I'm going to go with Brian Battle. I think he's just a bit fresher, and he'll be in the top 15. And that's worldwide, though, so it's not in UFC top 15. But he might make the UFC top 15 because the lower end of the welterweight isn't as popping as it used to be, let's just say. Now, Movsar Evloev, however you want to say it, versus Aljamain Sterling. Man, this is a sick fight. Man, I think it's going to be a close fight. I think Evloev wins in a boring grapple fest. 2 rounds to 1. Vicente Luque versus Garimbo. Luque is washed, but even though a washed Luque should still beat Garimbo. If he's completely washed, Garimbo wins. That's how I see that fight. Anthony on paper Smith versus Dominic Reyes. Man, I picked Dominic Reyes. I think Anthony is that on paper washed, on paper Smith. That Reyes is going to beat him. Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train versus Du Ho Choi. This is a sick fight. This is my pick for fight of the night. I think this will be fight of the night. Man, I think Du Ho Choi is going to hurt him and have moments, but I think Nate the Train is going to just make it over the line. But I wouldn't be surprised if Du Ho Choi wins. But I'm going with Landwehr by a close fight, close decision. I think this will be a fight they'll want to run back. It'll be exciting, unless someone gets starched early, which is possible. They've both taken some damage in their career. Kron Gracie versus Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell getting the 106th featherweight in the world. I mean, this is just a layup for old Brycey boy. They love him. Yeah, I'm taking Bryce Mitchell by... Man, Kron Gracie is tough. He showed that in the fight against Cub Swanson, even though he got his ass whooped by old man Cub. Not a good look. Cyril Gann, so I'm picking Bryce Mitchell, obviously. Cyril Gann by Alex. I mean, Kron Gracie, how active has he been, for Christ's sake? I mean, his picture's not even of an MMA fight. So he's 1 and 2 in UFC. He's only beat Caceres. Oh my lord. Cub Swanson, Chardane. But he showed that he's been tough. Do you know what I mean? But man, you can't fight in the UFC and you've been in there 6 years and you've had 3 fights. That's just, no. I mean, Du Ho Choi isn't very active. Bryce Mitchell hasn't been that active recently, I don't think, has he? Thug Nasty. Has he been right? His last fight, I mean, wow. To be fair, that last fight he had a year ago, it was pretty brutal. People thought he was dead. He got shotgun KO'd. Silgan versus Volkov. This is actually a really exciting fight, personally, because I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a technical, boring decision to most people, but I'm going to enjoy seeing this fight because it's two technical, tippy tappy, on their toes, movement heavyweights who can do the best tippy tappy on the foot move, fake feint, all that crap. Who can do it? Um, I think Volkov will win, but I think the judges will rob it and give it to Gan. But yeah, I'm going with Volkov. I think Gan's a washed up guy. We're not washed up in that sense, but I've always said Gan isn't a fighter. He's just a sportsman athlete. He hasn't got that killer in him. You can tell it. He hasn't got that killer in him. And Volkov isn't a super killer, but he got a lot more kill in him than Gan. So I'm taking Volkov. But co-main event. This is, I mean, they could probably put this on pay-per-view at the top without this top fight, without the main event, and this would still sell just as well. No disrespect to the well, I'm sure some Japanese people, a lot of Japanese people are going to tune in for this guy. I've done a bit of research on him. His brother is a megastar on YouTube, and I was actually watching a little thing of the countdown where it showed that how he got into MMA, and I paused it, went out earlier, so I haven't actually finished watching it, but it looked like some Jorge Masvidal backstory, origin story type shit. Rachmanov versus Machado Gary. I think we all think it's going to go. He's going to beat him up a little bit on the feet, take him down, maul him, and submit him with a rear naked choke, which is probably what's going to happen. But I don't know. These things are just weird. And MMA, there's a guy in Gary who just seems to be a decision machine. Rachmanov, a finishing machine. You think, how is this guy going to win? How is this even? How is this guy gonna win? You know what I mean? And then you get like Pena versus Nunes type shit. You know what I mean? These crazy things happen. So I wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket if you're going to put money on Rachmanov. But I mean, he should win. What's his favorite? 350, pretty big favorite. Now Pantoja versus Asakura. I've gone back and forth on this because, like a lot of people keep saying, Luke Thomas, people like that, the way Pantoja fights could only fight that way so long. But man, I mean, he's ranked 46 worldwide at bantamweight, but I think it's a different weight rules in Pride. But it would be cool to see Asakura win because it'd be cool to see a Japanese guy finally become UFC champion and bring loads of new fans. And if they could do a UFC in Japan, that'd be epic. So I want Kai Asakura to win, to be fair. Pantoja's had a good run. You know, I'm sure his father's proud of him now and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Pantoja, but I hope Asakura wins. But, man, I just can't wait for this fucking fight night. It's going to be epic. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.